Hello and welcome back to my channel. The is the name of my channel. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Christina, aka Boozy Girl, here on YouTube and literally all of my social media accounts. Today's video is basically going to be a lot of footage from departure and pre-departure for the JET program last year in 2018. This is JET vlog number 2. Specifically, this is a JET vlog because a lot of today's video is actually going to have a lot of footage from pre-departure and departure for a JET program from last year, from 2018. We're actually coming up on my 1-year anniversary being here in Japan in just about 2.5 weeks or so, which also means in 2.5 weeks or so, we'll have more sacrifices. But anyway, this video is particularly going to show, there's a lot of footage that's going to be added into this video, so everything from pre-departure, from departure, so everything that kind of went on at pre-departure, which was basically like a big party, at least for us in New York it was. We were at the ambassador's mansion in the city. And then departure, and then lots of footage of flights, a little bit of footage from Tokyo orientation, or hell. Boring hell. Conference hell. Hell? Just hell is fine. Disclaimer, I hated Tokyo orientation. I felt like it was the biggest waste of time. It felt like high school 2.0. Then again, a lot of JET feels like high school 2.0, which we're also going to talk about in more videos anyway. I'm going to talk about some of the details about coming onto the program, more so than I did in the previous video, which is kind of like an overview of JET. And there's going to be some footage of the flight itself, not the whole thing, just little snippets I took while I was bored and had nothing better to do on a 15-hour flight. And then it'll show the second flight as well, from Haneda Airport to Akita Prefecture, although I didn't take any video really after that because it was just an absolute shit show. getting everything and having to lug everything around. So yeah, so please enjoy today's video. Today's video is less of me, more footage. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm a New Yorker, I talk too much anyway, so enjoy the videos, okay? But there will be voiceover. I will be narrating certain things, so enjoy the video, and if you have any comments or questions, go ahead and drop them down below, okay? All right, let's go. Here we are at the ambassador's mansion. I literally walked in here and thought, oh my god, this is like the type of place where you know they have like the really good toilet paper if you know you go to the restroom. I was not let down. Anyway, everything in here was absolutely gorgeous. This is where we had our pre-departure orientation, kind of, but it was more just an overview of, hey, make sure you don't forget anything that you're going to need. Like, here's your passport with your visa in it and everything like that. And it was basically just a big party afterwards, so that was kind of cool. But yeah, I didn't want to touch anything because I thought I was going to break it and I didn't want to die. So this is the next day at JFK. I was with Group A, so this is actually July 28th, 2018. It was a Saturday. We had to check in 3 hours before departure, and if anyone else is from New York, you know JFK is always a zoo, so it didn't matter what we did. It was just absolutely crazy. Now add like 20 million people on the JET program there. The day before, they had given us an envelope with documents that had 3 baggage tags, an arrival card, and we had a JET sticker with the logo on it that we had to put on our shirts, and they herded us like cattle when we finally got to the airport. So we actually arrived next day because of time difference, July 29th, 2018, which was a Sunday, at Narita Airport, or Haneda. I forget which one it was. They're both, I've traveled to both so much that honestly, I always forget which one's which. So at the airport, we had to claim everything once we got there. Some people pre-shipped their baggage. I wasn't one of those people. I just basically collected everything after we went through immigration. What they end up doing is they actually ship your luggage to your placement from the airport. You're allowed to take with you 1 full-size bag and all of your carry-on items, but you can't keep your other large bag with you, or a third if you had a third, which I actually had a third. So all of that ends up going to your placement beforehand. So when I finally got here to Akita Prefecture, they had all of my stuff. They had picked it up. It was delivered to our Board of Education. And then when they dropped us off eventually at our apartments, they helped us to bring it up into the apartment itself. The flight itself was actually fairly comfortable. I'd never flown Japan Airlines before, but I actually really enjoyed the flight. It was economy, obviously, so quite squished, and I'm a little bit of a bigger gal anyway, so I just kind of knew it was going to be just a little tight, but it was fine. It was cozy and comfortable. And honestly, in a 15-hour flight, I just kept myself occupied with watching movies and staring out the window. And I like to look at the tracker to see what we were flying over. And then, when you realize, oh, we're flying over Alaska. And then you look out the window and you see the water. And you realize, oh God, if we drop out of the sky, there's nothing below us. Not that that makes it any better anyway. I mean, you're going to be dead no matter what. But these are the things that go through my mind when I'm on a flight. So the food on the plane was also really good too. Unfortunately, because Jet buys your plane tickets, you actually don't get the complimentary cocktails, which kind of sucked. I wanted a drink. I had to pay for it, which I totally did. It wasn't a big deal. I just gave them my credit card, and I talked to the stewardess the entire time in Japanese. And eventually, she just kind of gave me like one free drink. It was kind of cool. So I really enjoyed that. She gave me some free sake. It was delicious. So I got a little lit. I don't think we were supposed to, but I was 27. I didn't care. So I got a little lit. And it made, honestly, everything a little bit easier because I could sleep and everything else. So this video here is actually of the transfer limousine, the limousine bus service that they have from the airport. Yeah, we drove past Tokyo Disney. I was like dying to make this guy stop the bus. Part of me wanted to like pull the thing up top for like an emergency stop. But this is basically about an hour with traffic. So I mean, it's not terrible, but it also really kind of sucks to go from, hey, 15-hour flight to now, hey, that's another hour by bus. This really sucks after a while, especially because you just want to stretch your legs in the worst way, because the plane is so packed that like even if you get up and walk around, there's really not a whole lot of walking you can do. And you can't like walk the entirety of the plane anyway, because there's premium economy and like business class and first class, so you're only kind of relegated to basic economy, so you can't even really go that far. So as I'd mentioned before, I was with Group A, so July 30th to August 1st. We were in Tokyo for Tokyo orientation. They give you a nifty little program booklet. It literally says post-arrival orientation. It's got all the logos for Mick, Mofa, Next, and Claire on the bottom of it. And then on the very back side, there's the entire program for your 2.5 days of orientation hell. And the one thing that kind of sucks is that when you get to the Keio Plaza Hotel, you can't actually check in right away. At least we couldn't, because we got in around 3 p.m. We had to wait till 5, and that was just a big old hassle. So most of us just kind of waited in the lobby until it was time to check in, because we were just so uncomfortable and tired. On the arrival at the Keio Plaza Hotel, you literally feel like you're being herded like cattle to slaughter, because orientation sucks. And honestly, the hotel wasn't even really that great. I mean, I've stayed in better, but I digress. So this was the first day of Tokyo orientation, Monday. So we had breakfast earlier in the morning, and then we had the opening ceremony at 9 o'clock in the morning. Then we had a short break after that, and then the workshops began. The JET program, Essential Information and Disaster Preparedness, Japanese Law. Then we had another break. We had a keynote address. Then we had lunch. Then we had more workshops like maintaining your mental health, and we had another break. Then MEXT did 2 special talks about foreign language education in Japan, and the special needs education in Japan, and they gave us a handout for that as well. It's there's a specific word for it, and I'm blanking on it, but it's like the course of study, I think is what it's called. It's what actually all the teachers in Japan have to have memorized, because God forbid they deviate from the curriculum. Somebody would probably have to commit honorable suicide, but and then after that, there was another break, and then we had the team teaching demonstration and effective lesson planning, which was useless. Most of orientation for me was useless. I mean, this was not my first professional job before. But yeah. And then later, after all of that, another break, and then the welcome reception, and then rinse and repeat for day 2. Yeah. So that's basically all orientation is, just a bunch of people talking at you, trying to not fall asleep, and trying to drink enough coffee to make you awake, but not actually give you a heart attack. All right, we're breaking for lunch now, sitting at the table. There's Nadia over there. This is our table. People are still coming in. Say good morning.
Good morning,
Good
Ohio.
morning.
Good
And
morning.
Besma's not even dressed.
Okay, alright. It's a learning curve.
It is a learning curve. Oh man. This is breakfast. It's a little not so full anymore, but breakfast. And there's Sarah. We're gonna go back to go get her jet bag.
Well, technically, right?
Yeah, I mean basically. So they're all like single islands.
Right.
So they're just letting in now for the welcome reception, and I'm the only one right now at Akita and Miyagi. So apparently I'm in front of the projector though. And there looks like there's a lot of food. Ooh, I see a fruit tart. Ooh. Ooh. Can't help it. I'm a New Yorker. We're all foodies. We're all foodies. We all float here. Alright, well, this is it so far. Just me.
Communities. Please raise your glasses and join me.
Now, if the Wii So after 2.5 to 3 days of lectures, crash courses in how to be an assistant language teacher, how to handle living in Japan, running into random herds of people that are also out exploring the city, and then always managing to find that one guy that wants to Japansplain everything to you, even though you're already aware and he's just really annoying, eventually you end up going to where you're supposed to be going, which for me was Akita Prefecture. So that is orientation. It's boring, but you have to do it, unfortunately. But once you survive through it, you finally get to go back to the airport. If you have to. Some people didn't have to. They either took buses or they were in that area. And you take the bus, you go back to the airport, you fly to where you're supposed to be, and your appointment on the JET program begins. And I have met some awesome people here in Akita Prefecture. I've met some really shitty people too, but that's a story for another time. So I really hope you enjoyed this video, and as I mentioned before, I will continue to upload. Not everything will be a JET vlog, but some things will. So stay tuned, and I hope to see you again soon.